Phil, you talked about this during our practices. You thought in our qualifying session, guys, we're going to start off on lap 1 right at the bottom of the racetrack, unlike the Cup and the Nationwide Series where they run that first lap up high. Colin Braun doing just that, hugging that yellow line for his first lap. He's the first one to get around this racetrack for 2 laps.
Oh, he runs a nice lap there. That's a good lap. That's faster than the pole last year. Remember, his teammate Eric Darnell sat on the pole last year, and one of 3 Roush Fenway trucks we had last year. We only have the one now. Colin Braun committed to run the full schedule this year, so that was a pretty good start. And I think, Rick, the reason maybe that Colin decided to run down on the bottom of the racetrack is it looks like he is going to run a second lap. But, you know, you can put a little more tape on this thing knowing you're only going to run 1 lap. You don't care if it gets warm on the second lap because you're only going to run 1. Now, Colin is probably keeping his eye on the water temperature gauge, and if it got too excessive, then he would probably back off. But it looks like he's going to go ahead and bring that thing around and run a second lap.
And we don't see any water shooting out of the overflow, which would be located right by the right front window post there. So if there was any excess heat, I think the water would be coming out of it. It's not there. He runs a second lap and picks it up about a tenth, a little over 7/100ths of a second, down to a 50.72, 177.44 miles per hour. That's a fast lap.
That is a fast lap. That's, I think, the fastest lap that we saw of any of the trucks making qualifying simulated runs.
I tell you what, I'm glad Colin Braun stayed in it because he did improve on that second lap. He could have been a little distracted when he went by after the first lap because our flagman actually waved the checkered flag when he went by on the first lap. This is his first lap, and the checkered flag came out.
Man, we don't look up there.
and that certainly goes to show you that we don't look up there.
But luckily, he kept going and kept digging and turned 50.721. So that will be the time that they're shooting for.
And his first career pole coming at one of the greatest places in all of racing. How special is it to have the opportunity to lead the field to the green flag tomorrow night?
Well, it's great. You know, these guys have all done an amazing job on this truck. This is the same truck we had at Talladega. All of the guys worked extremely hard back at the body shop. Obviously, the guys at Roush Yates Engines did a great job with this power plant we got. You know, it's pretty fast. We got a good, I guess, chunk of time on the field there. So I'm really excited about it. It's a really good truck, obviously. And, you know, driving the number 6 Conway Freight Ford F-150 truck here at Daytona was really cool last year to get the first, my first race under my belt with them. And to get him a pole here is pretty special. Give us an idea of what being on the pole does from an advantage standpoint tomorrow night. I think by about lap 2, it's probably not going to be that big of a deal. But it's certainly neat to lead off the field, and certainly neat to get Conway Freight their first pole here with Roush Fenway Racing. And, you know, Mike Beamy's worked extremely hard on this truck. My engineer, Hal, has done a great job as well. And I think the most important thing that I feel is we have a truck that races really well. I feel like it drives really well. I feel like we didn't work very hard on qualifying, and I just kind of fell in our laps, I guess. And that just goes to show all the hard work these guys have put in back at the shop and long hours.